How you doing, guys? It's Richie. So, looking through We Don't Kill Spiders by Joseph Schmalkes. Sorry for butchering the name. I really don't know how to say it. Schmalke. So this is the author and the artist of 7 Years in Darkness, which is fantastic. Love it to death. It's on its third year. So they're little mini-series 1 to 4, year 1, year 2, year 3. Now, I believe this came before that. We Don't Kill Spiders. I love this. Fantastic. It's good stuff. And I figured we'd take a look through. All right. This is issue number 1, written and art by Joseph Schmalkes. DC Hopkins does the lettering. All right, so this is like in the Viking times and within that Nordic area, Nordic time frame, whatever you want to say. So it starts off with some people in a village. It's a kid and his father. The father goes outside, gets some air. And says, "What the hell? Is someone out there?" Boop. Chops his head off with an axe. Comes in and tears apart the family, little kids and all. So there's a serial killer on the loose, and this is the story of why there is a serial killer and how these characters all came to this one place. This is called The Last Death Witch, Chapter 1. So the leader of the pack, all the people, hires out this guy. What was his name? Jarl or something like that. No, Jarl is the king or the leader of the group. Anyway, so they hire him to figure out, who's doing this, who killed these people. And this guy he doesn't believe in the gods anymore, I guess, like Odin and Thor and all that. So he's had a rough up, coming up. He's seen some stuff in war and such. Do you suspect anyone? I do. An outcast, Vola, named Ravina. Now, Ravina's the witch. So this tells her tale. They killed this group of people killed Ravina, the witch, who you're about to meet, killed her mother for being a witch. Chopped her head off. So they made her, "I declare you to Schambarger, you are no longer welcome here." So she's driven from the land, but she lurks around on the outskirts. And she does whatever witches do. So that's the first place he's going to start investigating. So he goes out, checks the place where the murder just happened with the family. There's blood all over the walls. I mean, they really went to town. So here's Ravina. And Bjorn, that's his name, Bjorn, comes in. She invites him into her hut. And they're talking, going back and forth. So she wants to figure out, too, who killed the kids. Even though these people killed her family and drove her from the land. Great panel, great face. I like this purple color over everything. It looks really cool. So she goes there and writes like some witch stuff all over the ground. She's going to try to talk to the blood. "I'm a necromancer, a death wish. Because of this, I am hated and feared," she says. She casts a spell. Now, she has to take life from living things in order for her magic to work. But she doesn't kill spiders. That's like the family crest or whatever the style of magic it is or whatnot, or whoever they worship. So she's about to cast like a ritual and try to bring a demon about to try to explain to her what's going on, what happened here. So bam, she conjures up, and his name is Schmalkes. What do you ask of Schmalkes? And that's the end of the first issue. So she had summoned the demon to try to get some answers on what's going on here. Another cool cover. Now, I believe this guy, these were Kickstarter. This might have been Kickstarters before they were released, but I didn't get them. I bought these off of like my comic shop, and maybe one of my stores had a couple copies. So in the beginning of the first issue, they're going back to Ravina's youth. Now, she almost kills herself. This will just be easier. She's going to step off a cliff. She doesn't like being alone. She's struggling. And then the spider talks to her. The only thing I don't like about this, it makes this hard to read. Like, under the light, under this camera, I'm trying to read it, and it's tough to read. But anyway. Back to where this all started. Queen of Shadows, protect me. What do you ask of Schmalkes? So now they're going back and forth talking. And he lets her know, you screwed up. You didn't make a binding circle. So I guess a binding circle prevents these things from killing the people who summon them. Uh-oh, she's in trouble. Bjorn is standing outside along with the leader of the group and some of the other people, and they hear like craziness going on. And all of a sudden, dead bodies start rising, because where this was is actually on top of a graveyard from Vikings from dozens to hundreds of years before. So they're about to go at it. She calls out for her queen, the Queen of Shadows, to help her, who's like her master, kind of, sort of. And they're going back and forth, going at it. That's a pretty cool panel. She spits some like webbing into his face. So she's pretty tough. And everybody else is outside wondering what the hell's going on here. So now here's a little twist. Turns out all these people of the town here are, not all of them, but they're werewolves. Their town's been cursed. So now they're killing all the undead from the graveyard that had risen due to the fact that these two are, releasing crazy magic. Sure enough, the demon gets out and he's running. And here she is. Now, they're all looking at her like, whoa, what is going on here? They're scared of magic. They're scared of witches. So she beats down this guy, Schmalkes, or whatever the hell his name is. She eats his soul. And then, I believe she collapsed. Did she collapse? And they're arguing. The werewolves in the town are saying, hey, we think she could possibly be the killer. They don't really want to know what's going on. They just want to kill her because she's a witch. And this is a flashback here. And this is the Black Goat of the Woods. This was the master of the demon that she conjured. So this is one of the bad guys. Like the overall. The main heavy. Another cool cover. These are nice cardstock covers. Nice printing, nice thick paper. This feels good. Feels good in the hand. All right, so they're talking over here. This is Bjorn's youth and what he went through. So I won't get too much into that. You could read that. And here they are back at the fire in town. And they're going over what had just transpired. So he tries to give away, like, the werewolves had killed the village and captured a bunch of the people there, took all the young girls, basically using them as sex slaves and slaves. So he offers her to Bjorn, and he's like, no, I don't like women that don't like me. I'm not into it. We go back to Riva, and she's in like this plane with her queen. And she finally gets to meet like the queen of her sect or of her style of magic. And they're talking, they're pretty much torturing that demon that she had summoned, trying to get information. Uh-oh. So now the goat, although the goat lady of the woods, the evil queen, is attacking her and like in her sleep, trying to, I guess, steal her soul or just damage her while she sleeps. But she wakes up. Now the handmaiden that the werewolf guy tried to give away to Bjorn to have sex with is taking care of her. And she's taking care of, gives her something to drink. They're drinking. And she goes, as she's talking to her, she's getting suspicious. And she goes, what'd you put in this? And she goes, something to dull your senses. And boom. She's beating on her, and she pulls out a knife. You're a monster, no better than what you seek to destroy. Bjorn goes to talk to Riva, because she has been passed out. Kicks open the door to find out that this woman who was supposed to be taking care of her is now holding a knife to her throat. That's the end of issue number 3. Issue number 4, great purple cover. I like that a lot. Joseph Schmalkes. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, okay. So now it's giving us the backstory of the handmaiden that now has the knife to Riva's throat. I know, sounds a little complicated, but it's really not. When you read it, you'll see. I'm just trying to give you an overlook of how it is. So they're talking about her past and how turns out she's a witch, the handmaiden. So it's telling you how she got her powers. She learned from a witch in a jail from another witch. So these two, like the black goat and the other master witch, they must be battling back and forth. They don't really go into it a lot, but it's like they must be mortal enemies and their underlings are battling it out. So as it turns out, the other witch, the bad witch, was the one who beheaded the man and his family, slaughtered the family. So they all know now. I am the witch you were seeking. Because they knew it had something to do with witchcraft, but they weren't really sure. She thought because she dulled her senses that Riva, the good witch, would be weak, but no, she's still extremely powerful. And here comes the werewolves. And she kills, the bad witch kills the leader of the werewolves. And before she could get restrained and really interrogated, of course, the black goat of the wood, I offer you a final sacrifice. She kills herself. And there she dies. good when you see your master. Tell them death is coming. So Riva, the good witch, seems to be extremely upset about all this nonsense. And here they are talking, the new leader of the werewolf crew. He makes Bjorn an offer. You want to make more money? What do you need? You understand what afflicts us. Ulf was always content to let us stay the way we are. Some of the men believe if we aren't cured of this, we will never see Valhalla. So they're not worried about getting into their type of heaven. And we go to Bjorn and Riva. Well, now the werewolves has told Riva, we don't even want you on the outskirts of town. You just leave. Go away, or they're going to kill her. So she's a little nervous about leaving her home and, the area she grew up in, the area that she knows. Bjorn's got nothing going on, so they say, hey, let's travel together. Off they go into the sunset. Probably going to fall in love. Do something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. So now we go back as like the after scene credit. The black goat of the wood has come. And it's just showing you. All hail our Lord of the Forest. Hail the black goat of the wood. She's getting more people to her cause and more power. Fantastic series. We'll be looking at this next. It's like up to like 10 different issues. So I thoroughly enjoyed this. Great indie comic. Highly recommend. Great covers. Joseph Schmalkes, Black Caravan. So I wonder if this ties into 7 Years in Darkness, because 7 Years in Darkness is like a school that every 100-something years, after a long period of time, after the last wizard dies, they get 7 students and make them go through 7 years of training. And it's really tough to get through when they die. But I wonder if there's some kind of correlation between this series and that. It wouldn't surprise me if there was. It's kind of like in the same vein. But anyway, I've talked enough. Appreciate you guys watching. And I'll see you on the next.